The deep ocean, a realm of crushing pressure and eternal darkness. It begins where sunlight dies, about 200 meters below the surface. Beyond that line, life exists in conditions so extreme they seem impossible. No light, no warmth, pressure so intense it would collapse your lungs in seconds. Yet down there, in that frozen void, creatures thrive, not despite the darkness, but because of it. They've evolved into forms so alien, so perfectly adapted to horror, that they redefine what life can become. These aren't the animals you learned about in school. They're nightmares sculpted by millions of years of isolation, and they reveal a truth we'd rather ignore. Nature doesn't care about beauty. It cares about survival. And in the deep ocean, survival looks like monsters. The anglerfish, it lives in complete darkness, between 200 and 2,000 meters down, where pressure reaches over 5,000 pounds per square inch. The female anglerfish is the one you picture, a grotesque creature with a bioluminescent lure dangling from its head like a fishing rod. That light isn't decoration, it's a weapon. In the pitch black, tiny organisms and fish are drawn to it, thinking it's food or safety. Instead, they swim straight into jaws lined with needle-sharp teeth that angle inward, designed so nothing escapes once bitten. The anglerfish doesn't chase prey. It waits, motionless, luring victims into a trap they can't see until it's too late. But the real horror is reproduction. The male anglerfish is tiny, sometimes a fraction of the female's size. When he finds a mate, he doesn't court her. He bites into her body and fuses with her permanently. His tissues merge with hers. His bloodstream connects to hers. Over time, he loses his eyes, his organs, everything. He becomes a parasitic appendage, existing only to fertilize her eggs. She absorbs him until he's nothing but a lump of flesh-producing sperm. In the deep ocean, love isn't partnership, it's consumption. The anglerfish survives by becoming a living nightmare, and it works perfectly. The gulper eel, also called the pelican eel, it lives as deep as 3,000 meters. Its body is mostly mouth, a massive hinged jaw that can unhinge and expand to swallow prey larger than itself. The rest of its body is a thin, whip-like tail that can stretch over a meter long. It doesn't have scales. It doesn't need them. Its skin is loose, elastic, built to stretch as its stomach balloons with food. Down in the deep, meals are rare. When something edible appears, the gulper eel doesn't nibble. It engulfs. The entire animal disappears into that gaping maw, and the eel's body distorts to hold it. Its stomach expands like a balloon. For days, it digests slowly in the cold, metabolizing every scrap of energy. The gulper eel also has a bioluminescent organ at the tip of its tail, a glowing lure it waves through the water to attract prey or mates. But here's the truth. We don't fully understand how it hunts. We've only seen a handful of living specimens. Most of what we know comes from dead gulper eels pulled up in nets, their bodies mangled by the pressure change. They live in a world we can barely reach, and their existence is so extreme that bringing them to the surface kills them instantly. The gulper eel is a reminder that the deep ocean doesn't let us in. It only shows us corpses. The viperfish, it's small, rarely longer than a foot, but it's built like a weapon. Its mouth is lined with fangs so long they don't fit inside. When it closes its jaws, the teeth curve outward and upward, some nearly reaching its eyes. These aren't for chewing, they're for impaling. The viperfish hunts in the midnight zone, using bioluminescent photophores along its body to create flashing patterns that confuse or attract prey. Once something gets close, the viperfish strikes with terrifying speed. Its jaw hinges open wider than seems possible, and it lunges, skewering its victim on those needle-like fangs. The prey doesn't escape. It can't. The teeth are barbed, angled backward. Struggling only drives them deeper. Then the viperfish uses its flexible skull to work the prey down its throat, swallowing animals nearly as large as itself. It can survive for days without eating, its metabolism slowed to near Chinese letter in the freezing water. The viperfish doesn't waste energy. It drifts, waits, and kills with precision. It's proof that in the deep ocean, efficiency beats size. You don't need to be big to be deadly. You just need to be patient and perfectly cruel. The giant squid. For centuries, it was a myth. Sailors told stories of kraken, massive tentacled beasts that dragged ships into the depths. We laughed at them. Then we found the bodies. Giant squid can grow over 40 feet long, with eyes the size of dinner plates, the largest eyes in the animal kingdom. Those eyes aren't for seeing beauty. They're for detecting the faintest traces of light in near-total darkness. Each tentacle is lined with hundreds of suckers, and inside each sucker are sharp, serrated rings of chitin that dig into flesh like tiny saw blades. When a giant squid grabs you, it doesn't just hold on. It shreds you. We've found whales with circular scars covering their bodies, proof of battles fought thousands of meters below the surface. The squid's beak, hidden at the center of its arms, is made of one of the hardest biological materials known. It can bite through bone. For decades, we never saw a living giant squid. Every specimen was dead, washed ashore, or pulled up frozen. It wasn't until 2004 that we captured the first photographs of one alive in its habitat, and in 2012 we finally filmed one. What we saw was unsettling. It didn't move like an animal. It moved like something aware, intelligent, curious. Its arms reached toward the camera, probing, testing. The giant squid isn't just a predator, it's a thinker. And we still don't know how many are down there or what they're capable of. The ocean keeps that secret. The fangtooth fish. It has the largest teeth relative to body size of any fish in the ocean. Its fangs are so massive that it has special sockets in its skull where the teeth slide when it closes its mouth. Otherwise, it would impale its own brain. The fangtooth lives between 200 and 2,000 meters deep, in water so cold and dark that most creatures would die instantly. But it doesn't just survive, it thrives. Its body is covered in bony plates and spines, armor against the few predators that exist at that depth. Its eyes are tiny, almost useless. It doesn't hunt by sight. It hunts by sensing vibrations in the water, feeling the movement of prey from meters away. When it strikes, it's fast and brutal. Those fangs punch through flesh and hold tight. There's no escape. The fangtooth doesn't need to see you to kill you. It just needs to feel you move. Juveniles look completely different from adults, so different that for years scientists thought they were separate species. As they grow, their bodies transform, becoming darker, bonier, more monstrous. It's like watching something evolve into a demon. The fangtooth is a reminder that the deep ocean doesn't shape creatures to be seen. It shapes them to survive in ways we can barely comprehend. The barrel-eye fish. It has a transparent head, not metaphorically, literally. Its skull is a clear dome filled with fluid, and inside its tubular eyes point upward, scanning the water above for prey. For decades, scientists only found dead specimens and assumed the eyes were damaged. Then in 2009, researchers captured live footage and realized the truth. The transparent head is natural. Those green orbs inside aren't its eyes, they're the lenses. The actual eyes are the tubes behind them, and they can rotate forward to look ahead when the fish needs to eat. The barrel-eye drifts motionless in the water, staring up through its see-through skull, waiting for the silhouette of prey to pass overhead. When it spots something, it tilts its eyes forward, moves into position, and strikes. Its body is delicate, almost ghostly, built for a life of stillness. It doesn't chase, it anticipates. The barrel-eye survives by seeing what others can't, by evolving a solution so bizarre it seems like science fiction. But it's real, and it's been down there, watching, long before we ever knew to look. The deep ocean isn't just dark. It's a graveyard and a factory at once. Everything that dies above eventually sinks. Whale carcasses, fish, plankton, all of it drifts down into the abyss, and the creatures their weight. They've evolved to eat death itself, to exist in a place where food is rare, light is gone, and pressure crushes everything soft. These animals aren't monsters, they're survivors. But survival in the deep ocean requires becoming something we don't recognize. Something that reminds us nature doesn't create life for our comfort. It creates life to fill every possible space, no matter how hostile. And the deep ocean proves that darkness doesn't mean emptiness. It means evolution without limits, without eyes watching, without rules. The creatures down there are the truth we avoid. Life doesn't need light to flourish. It just needs time, pressure, and hunger. And in the deep ocean, all three are infinite.